Hi, this is Colleen, Lucky Duck Digger, but I'm also Lucky Duck Dreams quilter. And in 2019, when I was selling off some of my stash, which is what we call our fabric hoard, um, I used to sell on Instagram a lot, and I sold something to someone named Maria who lived in Ireland. And this was mailed the 27th of September, 2019. 2 pounds, 5 ounces of wonderful fabric. I rediscovered this sealed package in the back of my closet when I had my flood and pulled everything out. It came back like 3 months later. I tried to contact Maria. It was like she disappeared from Instagram, and I almost feel like because we had communicated not just for this sale but otherwise. And hey, Mandy, I'm just doing a weird live right now. I was trying to do an Instagram live, but it's not working. So I'm going to do it here, and then I can post the video to Instagram. It was like rediscovering fabric treasure, when I opened this package, because inside, if you are into fabric, and by the way, this is a lot of fabric. It was over 2 pounds of fabric, and she spent $38 to ship it to Ireland. And how much did I sold it for, oh gosh, now I got to do math in my head. 32, 57, 64, 70, no, 8, 64 and 8 would be 82. So I sold it to her for $82 for all of this. And this is actually it's kind of like for a quilter finding treasure. In fact, I was just going to put it right back in my selling and sell it again. But then I started looking at it. I'm like, I'm not sure I still have any of these scraps, because these are really older lines of my favorite Denise Schmidt. And I also thought I'd do a little, but anyway, so some of these, these are like really early. Some of them, look at these prints. These are early Katie jump rope. These are original Katie jump rope, not reprint. Original Hope Valley, Flea Market Fancy, Joanne's Picnic. So I'm going to probably go through this. Even the bundle of scraps. Let me just do on a quick tour of my studio. So this is my sewing machine, my baby lock Sophia. I named my cat after Sophia, after my baby lock Sophia. I actually rediscovered this quilt as I've been cleaning out. This is my Unity quilt. It was a mystery sew along during COVID by Bonnie Hunter. She does a mystery every year. And thank you. Thank you, Mandy. Anyway, she does this mystery every year, and she was doing it in red, white, and blue colors. And it started with a center block, and then every week during COVID, we were adding a row. But see, I also at the time was sewing masks. It was a very stressful time, especially with my ADHD and everything. It was like I felt like we had to sew masks, because how did you help anybody? And we actually had a project here, Project Mask in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We literally sewed millions of masks for first responders, educators, children, you name it. We were sewing masks. I got friends to sew masks. I had people who had not sewed in years pull out their mom's or grandmother's sewing machine, and I helped them learn. And a lot of them I actually got back into sewing and got them into quilting, which is kind of funny. My mom and I were sewing masks like crazy, and this was great. Bonnie Hunter did this. She released each week she released a new block, which technically was a new border. And I got so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 weeks. Well, I guess the geese at the top, those are flying geese at the top and the bottom, are 5. Then there's 2 more borders, and I have all the pieces cut out for the 6th border. And then the 7th border, I'm gonna finish this border because I just pulled this out and decide if I'm gonna do the last border or not by just doing this one first. What's really cool is so Denise Schmidt is one of my favorite designers. In fact, if you look up there, that whole row up there, and there's a row underneath, and that shelf, and then they're behind this quilt, there's another pile, are all Denise Schmidt fabrics. That she's my favorite. Got them in a rainbow order. I've got a couple other quilts I'm planning on making with my Denise Schmidt fabrics. But then this quilt was made with all Heather Ross fabrics. Un poquito español. Jardín Montes. Sorry. So this one, she had it in reds and blues, and Bonnie Hunter is a very scrappy quilter, and she does a mystery every year. And then in February, the mystery, she takes it down off her website and she publishes it. She's a well-known quilter and pattern maker. And her quilts are really intricate, and I don't have any yet. I've made a number of them, and I've got a number of them not here, somewhere over here, bags where a number of them haven't finished yet. I've been cleaning and organizing. This is still stuff I have to clean and organize. So this is Heather Ross prints, and she's my other favorite. There's some Heather Ross right there. This is some Denise Schmidt. But I went through my stash and decided to do all my own Heather Ross prints, cut into Heather Ross prints I've been saving, because if you don't cut into it and use it. And I went for this kind of rainbow scrappy look. I used this fish print because I had bought it on sale. I like used to go to my local quilt store, and I would wait when this line had come out with all these different prints, and this was another line, and I would go to the fabric sale room or sale wall, and I would once a month I would buy like all the rest of the bolt. So if you see the fish I used as the main background print. But I also used a print from Heather Ross that had letters, part of her Kinder line. And so it says, "We're all in this together." And then at the bottom is Unity, which is the name of, which is the name of the quilt. My Spanish is no más bueno, but I'm an elementary librarian. I've always worked in ESL schools. I took Spanish in high school and college. So yo leo unas notas, así. I can say siéntate, apúrate, escucha. I can say the basic words for those kids that come in and they don't speak. Or I could say libros en español, venga aquí. I can show them in la biblioteca, where the books in Spanish are. Thank you. I appreciate that. So this quilt, I love this quilt because it's got my favorite designer prints in it. But I got stressed out during COVID. I don't know about any of y'all. I mean, I think we all got stressed out, but I got stressed out, and my ADHD got me to a point where I was stashing as in collecting more fabric than I need. Like all this fabric right here is stuff I'm selling. A lot of it's because I've had it forever, or it's left over from a project, or I haven't bought multiples of it. I also have a bag down here full of stuff to sell, another bag here full of stuff to sell. I just put together these cabinets, just bought this cabinet to organize the stuff I'm not selling. And if Ann at Stitch Supply Company sees that, she'll realize I spent way too much money at her. But so I'll move this. You can see kind of the rest of my stash. See, this is the stuff I'm still working on sorting out. See, this is more Heather Ross and Denise Schmidt, Heather Ross, Denise Schmidt, some other random stuff. But I found I had like bought multiples and multiples. Oh, lots of Cotton and Steel and Ruby Star Society. And then also up there, I do have some Tula Pink. This is Heather Ross up here at the top. This is Tula Pink, and then I was just sorting all my Tula Pink. She's another fabric designer. And right down there is Tula Pink. And here is a Tula Pink quilt. That was a block of the month I have not finished. Here's my Tula Pink scraps. In a cool box, somebody made me this. So I just, and here is random projects that are half finished. More stuff to search. Here, more Heather Ross. In fact, this will probably be, if I need more, if I decide to do the other border, I'll use this fabric. I had pulled this to use for that quilt. And by the way, I don't know where you are, but we have snow and sleet, and we still have, this has been going on since last night. We still have freezing rain coming through tomorrow. So this is the warmest room in my house, my studio, which kind of looks like a hot mess, but it's actually a lot more straightened up than it's been in a very long time. Down there, I have a Trofast, IKEA Trofast cabinet. It's got 9 bins, and those are all my small little scraps that I pull from when I'm quilting. So I just wanted to go online today to share this really cool. Well, it's not cool because the fact that I got this package and sold it and mailed it in 2019 in September, and this person, Maria, she just disappeared. I don't know where she went. I tried, like I said, I tried everybody. Nobody had seen her after she bought this, and she paid for it, and I mailed it out, and the package it sat in the post office for 3 months before it got sent back to me, and then I got back with these beautiful fabrics. So I actually have 2 really big. Let's see. This basket is all Denise Schmidt scraps. And where's my other? There's another basket of Denise Schmidt scraps. I don't even know where it is right now. It might be underneath here somewhere that I have to sort through and bundle up. See, when you sell, I can sell it, but it just takes me to sell the right. Look, half of this is Denise Schmidt. The other half is Heather Ross. And then down here is my cotton and steel. Oops, I turned it sideways. The bottom 2 shelves are all Christmas. I do have like Halloween. I love that I have this cabinet now to put these old bins in. This is all my Halloween fabric. Let me tell you, there's some really great Halloween fabrics. Here's a quilt kit I won. I'm not really a fan of the quilt. I tend to like to make my own or really cool quilts. I mean, this is a cool quilt, but it was a Denise Schmidt quilt kit. I won it from Pineapple Fabrics. I may sell this one. I'm still thinking on it. I'm not going to be impulsive. I got plenty to list right now to sell. But this is what I plan to do as we have all this snow and ice. Look, it's just moving through. And here's my sewing room. I'll just do a little pan around. If you see little mini quilts, those are all ones I did swaps with over the years. And these quilt blocks that are framed, one of the first things I did when I turned this bedroom into a sewing studio is I bought these cool frames at Joann's. And I've always collected vintage quilt blocks, so I framed 8 of them. And then everything else, like that basket up there on the top, that was from my grandmother's house. That box was from my great aunt's house. There's my little toy of mine. I love random scraps, like a jar of yo-yos. All my grandmother's buttons, I sorted into these vintage jars, which is kind of cool. All these vintage ball jars and jelly jars. So I've always been a treasure person, but everything's kind of a hot mess. I need to, like I said, I'm cleaning out, rearranging. It's now in a place where it's usable and I can access it. If you see right there, I put these clear shelves up. I've got some more I'm going to put up over there because I've got collections I like. Like these are all yummies, are all designed by Heidi Kinney. During COVID, she did all these, was cleaning out her house and did all these cool, bye, thank you for stopping, Hardine. She did all these cool mystery boxes where she would clean out her house of all her samples and things. And she used to do, like the pretzel, she used to do these box of the months where she made special ones. And so I have this nice collection. In fact, I have a shirt somewhere I think it's hanging up over here. Yeah, there's my yummy shirt. You can't see this, but my childhood medal, I I've got some doll clothes I was sewing are hanging up here, or ones that were mine when I was a kid. These are my metal sewing ironing board when I was a kid. I use it for magnets. But yeah, so I've been just reorganizing. Here's a little mug rug made from Heather Ross. These were all made from scraps. When I say scraps, like when you're trimming off things, I tend to bundle them up when I'm making a project. And then look, I made it into a little mug rug to sit my stuff on. I love all my things in here. I love this tray. A friend of mine, this is a curtain, a Denise Schmidt curtain I'm going to put up over there with some Velcro. But a friend of mine's father-in-law made this wooden box, and I bought it when they did his estate sale. So I use it like as a lap quilting box, but it looks like I've dumped my pins out. And anywhere you see little blocks and things, like this block I made with some cool coca canvas fabric. I love the vintage car. This was a block my grandmother made, my grandma, my mom's mom. She, I call her a utilitarian sewer. She made quilts, but mostly they were large piece quilts. I have charm square quilts cut up of fabrics. A lot of them were fabrics she bought at, got off sample carts. My grandfather was a, yeah, I know, really, that she was he was a buyer for a department store. So he had lots of sample cards, and I have some of those sample cards still. So she made these cat and dog quilts. I have charm square quilts, and the later second generation of grandkids got these cat dog quilts. That's a dog. This is a block I made with some random pieces. Another block I made. This little dress, though, I just want to post this. This was made by a quilting friend of mine's named Terry. And I just found out on, I think it was Thursday, that she passed away from lung cancer. And I wanted to recognize that. She was an amazing quilter. We were part of the Modern Quilt Guild for a long time. And in fact, in here, let me open this up. In here is something that she made me. We were doing, I thought it was in here. Oh, no, maybe I moved. I think I moved it somewhere else. She made me this cute little sewing case that was a Doctor Who's TARDIS. I think I have it in a different bag. I have so many sewing bags. But that's what, just wanted to do a quick live, do a little overview, seeing what, I'm not showing you my face because I'm a hot mess. My hair's sticking every which way. Here's in my other sewing machine that I'm using. I use mostly for quilting or heavy duty. In fact, there's a quilt based it ready to quilt on. A good friend of mine, Kelly, gave me this when she upgraded. So this is my sewing studio. Look, there's a bag I made, So Hungry Hippie pattern. It's a record. I don't know if you can tell. There's also a 45 pattern. I need to get that pattern as well because I'd love to make that smaller quilt. Let's see if I can put this back up here while I'm still live. Hold on, I'm going to sit y'all down for a second. Look at the pretty fabric. There we go. Now I got that back up there. So anyway, I've got a couple projects. I've got a friend who commissioned me to make a baby quilt. I've had the parts pulled together and the pattern I designed ready. So I might work on that this week as well. But right now I pulled this out and I feel like I need to going through this process of cleaning out of, I got stuck in my ADHD loop over the last 6 years with COVID. Hey, West Country Mudlarks. I'm doing a quilting thing, so it's treasures I'm finding in my sewing studio, left over from COVID stress, and this is a quilt. So this is what I'm going to be working on. And again, it says we're all in this together, unity. It was a free pattern that Bonnie Hunter had put together during COVID to keep us going. Every week she'd release started with the center block, and then every week released a new row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sewing. I have had the pieces cut out and a couple of the blocks made, and I decided that when I pulled this out, I want to finish this quilt. I got stuck in it. You know, COVID was tough. And West Country Mudlark. Yes, I know. I have a lot of treasures, family treasures, found treasures. You know, that was my mom's sewing box. And of course, this is the weather. We're just at the beginning of this sleet and snow. Yes. Treasures are treasures. This is all my treasure. This is my stuffed treasure room. But you know what? Sewing studios are going to be stuffed because you're creating stuff, you know, like any kind of creative space. It doesn't keep common. So stuff. That's really, and I need to get back to that because it used to be my de-stressor at the end of a school day was just to come in here like an hour before bed and just either play with fabric or sew something, whether it's a long-term project. And I've got all these project bags are filled with projects that have not been completed. I've got some more over here, and this whole tub is filled. Some of them are not projects, but just could be projects. And I just need to get back to that because it helps to keep me level. You know, the world is tough. Yeah, that's why I am cleaning out too. In fact, I collect rocks too, okay? Look, I have things everywhere. Like here's this dish that I want to say it came from mom's house or it might have come in from my great aunt's house. It's filled with rocks. I mean, I've got, you know, I've got pink quartz skulls and I've got a little bit of pie or no, that's emerald, Colombian emerald. Some labradorite, which is one of my, some fluorite. Well, this is just a touch. Again, COVID kind of went a little crazy trying to, I get, like you said, I guess trying to find comfort in what we do. Or trying to find comfort in the world at that time. So I started this with these fabric piles. Yeah, well, it's been cold here and it's been Christmas, so I haven't been able to dig either. Um, I did get my video done for tonight, and it's part 1 of the Hunt 3 of the Drained Lake series. So anyway, these are the fabrics. I'm gonna put these to the side. I don't want to sell them yet, though I do have, you know, some of these stuff I can let go, but some I might not have these colors anymore. But I will let them go at some point because that's the whole thing. So this is what I'm doing. Oh, and I didn't even show my dollhouse. This is my dollhouse my dad made me. And I got it out of the attic last summer. I can't remember exactly. And I have collected things like there's a fireplace Dad made me. I have been wanting to have this in my sewing studio, and I finally brought it up here the other day because I finally had a place to sit it. And it's very sturdy. It's not going anywhere. And it's something I just to putter with and work on, you know, when I feel like it. It's just one of those, another creative outlet for me. But hobby, obsession, I don't know. My dad always says, how many quilts do you need? Well, it's not about how many quilts I need. It's how many things I want to create. You know, in this room alone, well, that quilt somebody made me. That's my cuddly quilt because it's got fleece on the back. It's great to cuddle with. But there's a quilt I made. That was we swapped blocks. And this is just what's in here. This is a vintage quilt Mom and Dad bought me. Here's another quilt that I use if it's too cold in here. Another plus to being in here with all this snow and sleet, and we're getting freezing rain as well. This is the warmest room in the house. Gee, isn't that awesome? All right, I think I'm going to end this live. I didn't really plan to go quite this long. Thank you all for coming in, giving me a thumbs up. I love teapots. Well, you know what? That's what I do. So I just put up shelves. So like I've got this shelf I've had, and they're all random because these were things I found at yard sales. But like that camera up there was my grandfather's. It's a really cool old camera. There's an old Westinghouse pencil sharpener. My dad put that pencil sharpener, you know, things that people have given me. Oh, there's my old hook and loom craft thing I got as a kid that was a yard sale find, you know, family sewing boxes, whatnot. You know, I've got 2 plastic shelves up right there. I've got more to put up, probably over here to display these things that I have that I like. And if I don't like it, I'm going to get rid of it. You know, that's my whole mantra. Sell it. Get rid of it. Oh, hey, Gene P, I'm definitely staying warm. All right, take care, y'all. I'm going to end this live. Let's end this live with unity. We're all in this together in this place we call the world. I'll focus back on unity and end this live. Bye, guys. Thanks for dropping in.